Hello, buddies. You're watching Medley with Maddie. I am Maddie, and welcome to another episode of Interview and Experience. And today we have done shoot, which is in between improv and planned because it started out as a improv project, but then like we got really serious and we did a lot of planning, but it took whole day and we just wrapped it. So I just want to ask people who participated what is their experience. So let's I think by now most of you know each other as well as the audience knows each other. But just give a what do you say? A small round of introduction with what you did today, which department you contributed. Okay, cool. Let's go from here.
Hey, hi everyone, I'm Dhanasekaran. I contributed to the cinematography department.
And direction.
I'm Lakshay. I wrote the script and worked with them on direction and cinematography.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Aman, and I acted in this film. Yeah.
Okay.
And my name is Shish, and I supported the audio and other stuff.
Yeah, assistant direction.
Assistant direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
And I am. You don't have.
No, thank you.
Okay. I am Maddie, so I acted as the lead character, and thanks to Lakshay, he wrote and directed the movie, so I got an opportunity. Okay, so I'm going to ask them personalized questions related to what they did today. The first question will be to our director writer. So he has been with our group for more than a year, but this year he has done a couple of cinematography projects, and this is his first short film as writer director. So I want to ask him how was the experience, and he has done the efforts, like he has put in the efforts to write a screenplay and then a storyboard, basic storyboarding, and today we almost kind of pulled off and it was successful because he had done the effort. So I want to ask you, how was your first directional experience?
It was actually an eye-opening experience because it's been a long while since I've worked on a film in this department, and that's why I wanted to do it much better than my last films. That's why I wanted to have a very clear short plan, and the storyboarding was pretty intense, and I wanted to execute it the same way as well. So I think I learned that there's so many challenges when you have a setup where you want to record the same conversation, the same scene from multiple angles. How do you do that? How do you sequence the shots? How do you sequence dialogue versus non-dialogue shots? So I think for me that was one of the most biggest challenges of today and the biggest learnings in how to manage that better the next time and to be more efficient with the shoot. Yeah.
How about managing the actors, like directing the actors?
I think that was I was blessed to have two very good actors on the film, and they did a great job. And I think the best part was that they were very quick in like understanding my direction. So because I had a certain idea in mind, they were able to produce that a version of their own. And at times when I corrected them and I found my own interpretation, they understood that and brought that to screen. I think that's what a director wants, and that what I got with these two actors.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Dhanasekaran, our industry expert. So to you, my question would be: we kind of got into this multiple camera, what do you say, method on the spot today. So that is not familiar for us. It is something new, and today it happened like on the spot. So how did we do on that job? Like, how did you rate us on that multiple camera handling thing? And yeah, so compared to the last project that you participated, so this is in between improv and planned shoot, and how like whether we were prepared and did we do the right things, and have you improved from the last shoot?
So last time I went to know the script only after coming to the spot. I didn't know about the script, nothing I knew. That morning only I got to know. This time, like 2 days before I got the script, I got the short divisions, everything. So I came prepared, and also I spoke with the director. We had a Discord conversation, everything. So he gave the short divisions, everything. So you guys were well prepared only. So it's just that there happened to be another resource which was a camera, and we used it. I think we used it efficiently. Now that we all know each other, I think the rapport was much better than the last time. Last time, of course, like we don't know each other. It's very difficult to trust, like, okay, whether this person would be able to do it or not. Right now, since we know a bit better than the last time, I think the trust was there. Okay, okay, we'll compose the shot. We like is like this, and the director was kind enough to let me take care, like own the shots that I shot for him, because I was more like a BCam operator, so he didn't hesitate. And also, whenever I gave suggestions, you guys happily accepted that. because I'm a guy who keeps on asking questions. Why not like this? Why not like that? It keeps popping up in my head. Of course, it's all for the betterment of the film. As long as the film does good, I'm more than happy. I don't mind you guys scolding me also, but the film has to work out. At the end of the day, we're all these efforts is for the next few minutes of the film that we're gonna edit and put together. In that sense, I guess now that the rapport is there, it was much better and much more enjoyable experience than the last time. Is what I feel. You guys did a good job, like because like I mean, even in the industry, like not like morning I was telling them like not everybody does the storyboarding and all. You guys did a good job. You're improving.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, to Aman, he's been getting tougher roles for when he's moving on to the next project. So it started with a small silent project called Spanicle, and then the cop, which had dialogues and expressions, and then we have Mr. Black, where we have to exaggerate everything, and then now today, I think he was like literally pulled, stretched, and by a director, like extended to whatever form he had to go. So, how was the experience basically compared to all other previous
Yeah,
projects?
the experience was really tough. First of all, it is very tiring. One thing that Dhanasekaran has said is to be a filmmaker, you have to stand at least for 8 hours continuously, and that I felt okay. It is a really tough job. It's not easy as to just watch a movie. It takes a lot behind where to shoot, how to shoot, and the acting. And the director was a control freak. He wants everything very perfectly. So that was first time I got very frustrated. Okay, how do I pull this out and what he's asking? But he guided me, and I'm able to do that, and he was okay with it. So that was really joyful for me. Okay, I'm able to do that because acting is very first time for me also. I was just with this previous movies, I've gained some experience, but this one is really pushed me, stretched me into this acting field, and I really enjoy the process. And really, it is a filmmaking. It is complete film that we have shot. Maybe that's how they do it in the industry. Everything is planned. Everybody is working in their own department, and yeah, it's going to be a really good film. I hope. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Seskiri, he's been also there for more than a year, and last year he was participating one day shoots, something. But this year he's been involving full fledged, into the back end team as well. So compared to last year, how is MW Movies doing this year? And are you learning more this year since you are participating in our shoots more?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, every week over week, there is always a learning thing. See, today with Dhana, I think there's a huge cinematography learning. It's a huge means. He's such a knowledgeable person on that, and our director is a non-accepting director for anything little below 100. He's not saying cut at all. The whole day we say ourselves cuts and all and cutting up, but it's indeed fun and learning, I mean, uh, I'm really enjoying to be associated with MWM.
So to all of you, one more technical question. Okay. So to the director writer, first time experiencing it, how storyboard helped you, if it helped you, and what is the significance of a storyboard even in a small project like this?
So I think this is the first time I use a storyboard for any of my films, and that gave me something to be strict about, to hold on to, and to try to replicate as well as I can. Otherwise, you go ahead and you see it in your mind and you try to like have those safe shots that you know will cut together and bring that out. With the storyboard, you can be more risky. You can think about things beforehand. So, for example, I had a few shots planned out that I knew could have trouble during editing. But I kept them in such a way that okay, I'll shoot them, but for editing, if that works out, then fine. Otherwise, the film would work without them. So I think with a storyboard, that gives you the power to plan shots like a vertigo, like a moving shots, especially that cut very well together, and that allows you to be more experimental with your projects, be more dynamic, and to present a visual feel that an improv shoot won't. So I think that's what I got through a storyboard this time.
So basically, that's my initial 1.5 years of practical learning summarized in like quick view. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lakshay. To Dhanasekaran, uh, this is a complicated project, like whatever we had today. Even though we were a team of just five and two actors and a script dialogue movie, and the two camera setup did help us. So, do you think for complicated project as such, this one? Do you have to have a two camera setup? Will it help smoothen the process of shooting it? So if we had shot with one camera, it could have gone for more than a day, or we could have end up not wrapping the shoot. Like, what do you feel? Like this two camera setup is really necessary? Like storyboard, is it really necessary, or is it something good to have?
So, like you said, it's a good to have. And see, it is subjective. Why so? Because see, every filmmaker has a different way of dealing with things. See, some filmmaker they don't even have like a short division. They just go prepare it on the set and then shoot it. Some filmmakers are very adamant. They are like every shot is logged. So as far as multi-camera setup and all is concerned, so if you are like very disciplined as a filmmaker, you know your shots very well, then multi-camera is like a bliss to work with. You can get a lot of things done. You know your shots. So you're like, okay, we'll take a close up here, we take a wide there, shot is done. As simple as that. If you're on the set improvising, figuring out stuff, see, I would highly recommend that any filmmaker for that matter come prepared with the shot, because we're shooting a fictional content. We're not shooting a documentary. We're shooting a documentary, then it's a different story. We don't know what's gonna happen. We know our story. We are the one who wrote it. We know the shots. We know who's gonna be there. And also in terms of all resources can be saved. You are very clear on your properties, your locations. See, now it's a small crew. Imagine you guys are working on $1 million project tomorrow. There will be like thousands of people asking numerous questions. Anything go, thousands of things can go wrong in a film set. The only person is responsible is the director. He'll blame the director. If the film succeeds, also it's the director. If it fails, also it's the director. So it's better to be on the safer side. So and I'm happy that even at the growing phase, you guys are experiencing such a multi-camera setup. So once you start working on bigger projects, it'll come in handy, is what I feel. As far as this project is concerned, like you said, since some shots were complicated, and glad that he had everything storyboarded, multi-camera setup was much easier to adapt to, is what I feel.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So my takeaway from both of their answers is like, if you are doing a storyboard, then definitely you can plan to have a two camera setup, because until this year I have never done that. So I've always shot most of my movies are shot with iPhone, and then last year we upgraded to the cinematic cameras. So this year it's another upgrade. Like two camera setup is something that we are doing new. So I'm like happy that we are upgrading. But my takeaway is like, when you're spending efforts and time to do a storyboard, then like you should put extra efforts to get and secure two camera setup as well. Yeah. Okay. To Aman, on acting, I know that you also did some homework. I did homework for today's role, so it may not be very heavy or like time consuming efforts that we put, but we did some basic homework for the role.
Yeah.
So compared to your last few short films which you did with us and this one, what is the importance of doing homework for an actor, especially when it has dialogue, when the movie has dialogues, right? So expressions, be it expressions or body language, hand gestures. So what is, I think today you learned a lot, that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking this question.
It's very
So
important.
what is the significance of homework, and do you require homework even for a silent movie like Panicle?
First of all, homework is everything. Matlab, without homework, you cannot act. There would be no acting if you just if I will just put a camera and say, okay, this is your scene and you have to act. You cannot do anything. You will be blank. You have to prepare yourself. I'm not saying you have to think about what you are acting, what's your gesture. It has to be very spontaneous. But to get to that spontaneity, you have to prepare. You have to put because the previous one in the Mr. Black and the Cop and also in the Panic Kid, it's not happen just in one go. We have to have very lots of shot taken and rehearsals. And in the Cop one, I have put a lot of effort into delivering, into the getting the voice modulation and everything. We have to figure out before getting in front of the camera. So their preparation and also very enjoyable to prepare, because you have to understand, okay, what is my character? There you are going to find a character. Okay, how I am going to play this, at the shoot day, you're not going to you have to act at that time, but you cannot interpret the character according to you. So that come into your preparation part. Okay, how I am going to interpret this character? What are the mannerism that I am going to include into this? And yeah, how I make this character mine. The director has his own vision, but the actor has to surpass that vision. That's what his job is. So yeah, preparation is a must for acting. You have to prepare before you come to the shoot of the day. Okay, and there is a scope of improvisation, but that improvisation only works if you have prepared before something. You have learned your lines. You have know the emotions at which line what emotion you have to project. So yeah, preparation must is a must for an actor.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think no matter how much preparation you do, when the director says action, you're gonna go blank and you're gonna forget all your preparation. So it's better to prepare and come rather than taking everything on the spot. So as an advice from what do you say? I've been acting for 2 years now, so yes, whatever he said, I agree to it. So whether it's a short film, silent film, dialogue film, a 1 minute film, 5 minute film, so basic homework should be done rehearsal, especially on the spot as well as before you get into the shoot day, like the previous day night or 1 or 2 days before. Rehearsal has to be done. So it helps, like how the technical team spends on cinematography and direction, the acting, that they are the most paid. What do you say? Role, right? So you have to spend and prepare for the role. Thank you so much, Aman. To say, Skiri, you are a writer, and I saw that today you were enjoying the dialogues, like the script. Also, you said that it was a very good script and hilarious dialogues. So, especially for a comedy movie or any movie in general, the screenplay plays a role, right? Whatever story you have, that is primary. Secondary comes the screenplay. Like, what did you learn today? And dialogues. How important are dialogues in a uh, dialogue-oriented movie?
Yes, indeed. I mean, writing dialogues is important because it gives that flavor to what kind of movie you're making. Basically, it's a genre, basically comedy or serious or whatever it is. So, see, I mean, this particular thing, comedy and dialogue has to be matching with that. Like, for example, no, I mean, you can see the movie, you can figure it out how what it action plus dialogue plays very important role in comedy. Yeah, I mean, you the way how you write it. uh Thank you.
Thank you, Sesgiri. Do you guys have any question for me? I have asked you a couple of questions, so I can take one question.
Did you enjoy playing the Frederick's character?
Okay, so Frederick is the character that I played today, that he wrote, and I think everybody who's watching MWM would know BPD, Bangalore Private Detective. So I was supposed to play the protagonist role, and I had to give it up for a friend. So I kind of, it's like a missed opportunity for me. So he did a really good job, and I always envied that I should have played that role. And Fredericks is like a gift, God's gift to me, to make it up for that BPD role. So I really enjoyed. So I got into that role, but here it was on a different. So it's not something related to BBT. That is mockumentary. This is completely different. So I had to assume a different role considering what I wrote for BBT. So it's somewhat relevant. It's maybe 30 to 40% the role. So that's why I had a natural likeness for the role, and also there were some dialogues which was kind of my dialogue writing. In hilarious, like whenever I write comedy films, my dialogues tend to be in certain raw manner. So I kind of found that really attractive, and I think straight away I got into the character, and also what the director envisioned, and I had that same in the mind. Just the delivery had to be worked out, like where the pauses had to be. So there were mismatches in that, but then overall, I think I got into the skin of the role, knowing that he is also envisioned in the same. And you should tell me, how did I do?
I mean, Maddie's a natural, and I think calling someone as natural is a very good compliment because no one is a natural by default. You see the hard work that the guy has put in over the last years to become the guy who you can ask to play a role, and he will do absolute justice to it. So, like this is what I saw when I was directing him. That there's a silent shot where not much has to be done. But just the way he's presenting himself, whether he's having a dialogue or not, the way he's able to be that character on screen is unique, and that comes with practice. So I was able to see that when the mannerisms, his character was not static, his character was dynamic. Without dialogue as well, he was able to have a screen presence and to keep the audience engaged. So I think that is something that, like, I did not even think of myself that I'll be able to get that from Fredericks. And that's exactly what Fredericks needed to be. So I think that's why, like, having Maddie play that role and then Aman present that Abhijit like
The other
contrast.
character. Yeah.
Yeah, and these are very contrasting characters. And like Abhijit, I knew Aman. I've been telling him ever since I saw his first film that he's going to be a great actor. He is already a very good actor, and he's got so much potential to do so much better. So that's what I saw in these two actors, and I think that's one of the reasons this film might turn out to be a good one, because it is a very performance oriented film as well. Even though we've tried to have a very strong emphasis on cinematography. So I think I was blessed to have these two actors, and like for having all of these folks to listen to my blabbering and comply and help me make what we have made together. And I know editing is going to be a nightmare, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my experience, I would like to say, like, firstly, I have to thank people who turned up today. So we were expecting 7, 8 member team today, but this is all we had got. So I would like to thank every one of you for turning up today and like helping us making this film. And Aman and Lakshay, I see that they are having doubts on the film. For me, as an experienced filmmaker, I see that 50% job is done. So the remaining 50% is going to be editing and music. So it's up to the director. We're going to be editing together. Let's try to do that. So it's just halfway across. When we complete the editing, the movie will be successful. I don't have any doubts on that. We have pulled off the job in the camera team, in the direction team, writing team, and acting team. So editing team and what we choose as background music is going to be critical. So that will enhance and save the movie as well. So I think it's going to be a successful movie. Just we have to complete. Like we are near the mark, so we have to cross it. Okay. And today's experience, I really enjoyed it. So I just concentrated on acting, and because the member were less, somewhere I had to pitch in for support, for direction, or like minding the crowd control. But overall, 99% I was in acting department. I was like playful. Like I think not many have seen this side of Maddie where I'm just playing the actor. I'm very naughty and playful. I don't. It's like I know the pains of director, like what he's going through, and I like to chit chat. But as a director, I don't allow chit chat to my crew. So a lot of things I break today. So I really enjoyed. Thank you so much for allowing me to be like an actor, playing a role. So I really enjoyed that portion today. And obviously we had a lot of troubles. There were vehicles coming along. So it's a guerrilla shoot, right? So we had to manage, like whenever the space is available, you have to shoot it and come. So the neighbors were supportive. So I'm really glad that I live in this colony and everybody knows that I'm a filmmaker and they are very supportive. So yeah, and I hope you guys turn up again and again. And I am like really proud of. We were having doubts, even though we had done storyboard and all. We know that time is going to be critical. So today, the weather was not so good for the whole week. So rain and light was a huge issue. So we were afraid that lighting could be a huge issue, and anytime rain could stop us. It did drizzle a bit. So there were like 10-15 obstacles today, but we overcame everything, and whatever planned shot as well as the main coverage of screenplay. So the entire 6 pages were covered. Maybe one or two shots which we needed, good to have, we would have missed it. But I'm really impressed with Lakshay, his first directional venture. I didn't expect such a good work, like despite the so many obstacles. So without the obstacle, if you have completed, then that's not impressive. With the obstacle, we completed the shoot. So that's the impressive aspect of this shoot with just 5-member team. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I'll catch you in another live stream or video. Until then, you're watching Medley with Maddie. I'm Maddie Dawson. Bye bye.